finally, some movie theaters are opening up.
Oh, thank goodness.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Get your $84 bucket of popcorn and soda. Pay a great rate at the box office. And finally, but there's like 3 movies that I see that are current that are coming out.
Right. They open today. There's 3 to choose from. One is going to be a faith-based movie. It's called Tulsa, and we're super excited about it.
Scott Pryor, who is behind this film and stars in this film, is along with us on Zoom this morning. And let's get to know Scott, what's going on in his life, the movie Tulsa that's in theaters as well.
Right. So, Scott, we were kind of creeping on your social media a little bit, and I know you're super proud of your kids, especially Eli. We saw that he had won some wrestling awards. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Elijah is my oldest. He's a beast. He's actually was Division I football recruit, and then rolled into wrestling season and was captain of the wrestling team, and actually got he won 3rd in state. He barely eked into state because football season lasted so long, and then he just went in there and upset everybody, and so we were super proud of him.
He's got like how many awards?
He's got 3 awards for wrestling, and he's got a bunch of awards for football as well. So he's
good night.
He's definitely a beast.
I can tell he takes after mom.
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
Okay, I so have to know about your road trip to Montana, because you live in Atlanta. You literally threw the kids in the back seat and took this big road trip at one time?
Right. So I was actually born in Montana. So we actually flew the kids into Colorado, and then we took the boys from Colorado to Montana to see my dad. And there's some funny pictures there posted on the boys and some of their we got 3 boys, so in the back seat they're goofing around and doing some things that boys do. So
we can only imagine.
So, yeah. So it was interesting, and of course God tries my patience when I'm driving and trying to get somewhere, and we're in the car for a long time. But yeah, so it was awesome. Montana's absolutely gorgeous. It's such a different change of pace from Atlanta, where it's go, 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 and then you're at Montana, and you can drive very fast on the expressway.
Yeah, the Pryor family, the city slickers, going back home to Montana.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, something else I saw, it was a throwback picture of you and your wife, and you went to a Marine Ball. It was the very first one. I got to ask, were you dating then, or were you already married?
Well, since my wife posts most of the social media stuff, so yes, probably we've been to several Marine Corps balls. I know one we were definitely dating, and then later on we were married. So I guess it depends on the ball. I was with a unit in Greenville, South Carolina when I was in college. So there's an ammunition unit there in Greenville. So I think that was when we were with the ammunition unit in Greenville, South Carolina. So yes, we were definitely dating at that point, and so it was a great time.
Oh wow.
Okay, now I have to know. Black Bear is a movie that you starred in, you were a part of. You mentioned Greenville, South Carolina. Did you film some of it in Greenville?
We actually filmed the whole movie was filmed in Greenville, South Carolina. Black Bear was. So great movie. We had great local support and just crew. The crew was awesome. A lot of talent in Greenville in terms of filmmaking. They don't get enough films there, I think, but I always encourage people to go to Greenville, South Carolina. It's a great place. I love Greenville. I love coming up and visiting. We got family there. We've got a ton of friends out there. So we just loved it. I would definitely consider filming in Greenville again.
Yeah. I saw you took another trip to New York City, and it looked like with your mom and a woman named Tulsa, right? And
yes.
You took them to see The Lion King. What was that?
Yes. So, my mom, I try to, I always ask my mom, what's your bucket list items?
Mm-hmm.
What are your bucket list items? My mom's always wanted to go to New York. She worked, her and my dad worked so hard growing up. We never really had a lot, but now that, she's older, I'm like, what is your bucket list items? And so one of hers was New York. So for Christmas, I said, okay, I'm going to take you and my sister to New York, and we're just going to experience the different things. And so we went to Lion King, and it was fantastic. Everyone's like, oh, it's so good. And I was like, okay, sounds good. And we got in there. It was just amazing. So it was a great trip. One of those things you'll always remember. And so it was a lot of fun.
And so the woman that was with you, is that Tulsa?
That's Tulsa. That's actually my sister.
Oh, cool. cool. So
Tulsa is my sister.
is she the inspiration for the movie?
No, she's not the inspiration for the movie, but everybody comments on her name. Everybody loves my sister because she's one of the sweetest people in the world.
Yeah.
The film's actually dedicated to her, but everybody loves her name. And so I thought, it would be great to name this character Tulsa, because I like to take bits and pieces. When I write, I like to take bits and pieces of just people in my life. Tulsa's actually inspired. I'm a trial lawyer, as you guys know. And so I pull, and what I do is I do catastrophic injury and wrongful death. So very serious injury, death cases. Actually had a big case in Greenville County where a semi truck hit and killed a lady. And anyhow, so that's what we deal in day life in terms of my day job. And so then I like to pull inspiration from my clients who, they're dealing with such major tragedy, and sitting down at that table and just walking through that with them and telling their story to a jury, telling their story to a judge. I don't want them to be a claim number or just another case. I want them to know who is this person at their very core level, and get to know them. And then again, be effective in front of a judge and jury, and really persuade them in terms of the hurt that this family's been through. So I draw a lot of real life material from the cases that I work on. And but I do, it's kind of a conglomeration of just characters that I know, people I know, even just conversations. So Tulsa was actually inspired by a conversation of a family that I was representing who'd been through some major tragedy. And so anyhow, I had a conversation with one of the fathers, and we were preparing for trial. And so one of the questions you ask is, what, how has this affected you? How has this tragedy affected you? Not just, we had medical bills, but how has this affected you on a life level? I can no longer pick up my grandchildren. I can no longer sit on the floor and play with them. And these are things that make life wonderful, that we look forward to. And one of the things the father told me that just struck me was, me and my daughter, we used to love to go to the daddy-daughter dance and just dance all night long. And, the next time we went, we were there for 10 minutes, and we both had to leave because of what had happened and what had transpired and what they were going through. And he said it was heartbreaking. And it's little pieces of life that people miss out on. And so that struck me. And typically I kind of file it away. I actually have, I take notes on my phone sometimes when things hit me, and then I weave those into the story. So that was the inspiration for Tulsa, that and a couple other cases that I'd worked on. And obviously I fictionalize, characters and other things, but that was definitely the inspiration.
And there's even a scene, in the movie, kind of surrounding that father-daughter dance. So that is definitely Tulsa, faith-based film that is in theaters today.
And if you remember the name John Schneider.
John Schneider, yeah.
He's in this movie with you.
Yes, absolutely. And John was awesome to work with, as well as Cameron Arnett. But yes, John. And the funny thing is, I grew up when I was a little kid, I would watch John on TV, and we had a great time. He came on set. I'm a big car guy, and so I have a muscle car, a Hellcat, which is 800 horsepower. So we filmed all night at the hospital with John, and I said, John, at midnight we're going to eat. I said, let's sneak out, jump in the Hellcat, and let's go have some fun. So we did that, of course, and he's in there and he's doing 180 slides and all this fun stuff. And
wonder if he did his own stunts on that big TV show back in the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So he did that, and then I drove, and I said, hey, my turn. And so then I scared everybody to death in the car. And
oh no,
it was just a blast. Of course, the police were called, and so we had to run up the set, and everyone's like, "Get up the set! Get out of that car! Get up the set!"
Oh man!
Police came, and they were looking for a Camaro, but it was really a Hellcat. So we just kept filming. I don't know what's going on.
Scott Pryor, the movie is called Tulsa. It's one of 3 movies in the theaters, and this is the faith-based one that you can bring the entire family. Scott, thank you for the time this morning. By the way, if you missed any of this interview, you got into the middle of it, you'll see it online at hisradio.com, Apple TV, and His Radio TV on Roku.
His Morning Crew.
No, this has been such a crazy year. 2020 summer. Who would have thunk it would have been like this? And we're curious on His Radio. Hi, I'm Rob. That's Liz. We're curious on His Radio. Did you manage to even get any kind of vacation? I wonder who.
Yeah.
Who got a good vacationist. Liz went down to Orange Beach, Alabama.
Alabama.
And
Yeah,
you
I
got
did.
jet skis and swam with the dolphins and big fish were caught by your kids.
I know my son he says it was about a 40-pound amberjack. And we've got a picture of it. It was pretty cool. We did the jet skis, the crystal blue waters, but we made sure we just had to get out of town.
We were the same way. My family went to the mountains. We went to Bryson City, just enjoyed the mountains and the tubing and the whitewater rafting and all that. And so we're curious today, if you happen to manage to squeeze in any kind of vacation, what did you make out of it? Because I think every person's a little different, right? And what they made out of it.
Yeah, even if you did a staycation, honestly, how did you make that super special so it felt like you went somewhere? But I definitely want to see where you went. A friend of mine, I think they went to Hawaii. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I was like, I think they'd been planning it for years. It was one of those type things.
Yeah, you just can't. Well, I'm glad they're able to get there.
Well, I think it was like earlier in the pandemic, so they hadn't quite shut everything down yet.
So how did you manage to get a great vacation? You can call or text. Here's the number. It's 800-447-7234.
His morning crew.
Chuck texted in, and he said his family did small day trips like hiking at state parks. They went tubing down the Green River. So, yeah, it was more of a staycation, but they did something with that.
There's great stuff to do around here.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's still, we're still discovering a lot of stuff 20 years in, you know?
And with all the extra time that we've had this year, you kind of have to do that. It's pretty cool. Lauren said she and her family, they took the kids to the Ark and the Creation Museum because right now, kids 10 and under are getting in free.
Get out. I didn't know that.
That's pretty cool.
That is really, really good. Yeah. I've been to the Ark. Mm-hmm. It is just amazing.
I want to go. I haven't been yet, but I want to go.
It's amazing. I'll show you some stuff.
Okay.
It'll blow you away. It's real to size.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
That's right. And the magnitude of it has to just blow your mind.
It does. It's just gigantic, ginormous. And the things that they've put inside that Ark at the Creation Museum, phenomenal.
Yep.
So we know it's school time. We know it's past all that. But how did you make it into a great vacation this year? 800-447-7234. Rebecca, what did you do?
Well, we actually went to Destin, Florida. Had a great. We practiced our social distancing and wore our masks. We didn't go out as much as we normally would on a vacation, but we had a great time. My husband and I, our two daughters. My son, unfortunately, had to stay home and work.
What'd you wind up doing when you were there?
Just enjoyed the beach and each other. We didn't really go and do anything like we normally would, but it was so relaxing. So beautiful.
And sometimes those are the best vacations where you can just play board games and hang out with each other.
Exactly. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
We're talking about how you made a great vacation out of 2020. I know kids are back in school. Well, they're virtual or in school, one or the other. But how in the world did you make a great vacation out of 2020 this year? At 800-447-7234.
Yeah, Amy said they went to New Orleans. She went for the first time ever, visited the Jazz Museum and some other museum, and they're looking forward to taking the kids down for a weekend so they can see what New Orleans is all about.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, good. So they're able to get away.
Right, a little bit this year.
Yeah, Liz said she had a friend that went to Hawaii.
Yeah, I want to say, I know that they had been planning it for quite a while, and it was two families that were going to go together. So I'm pretty sure that they went ahead with it. I think it was more toward the beginning of the pandemic, so maybe things hadn't shut down quite yet.
Yeah, we didn't go too far with our family. We went to Bryson City, so we enjoyed the mountains. It was so beautiful.
But wherever you go, as long as you can disconnect a little bit and reconnect with your family, that's a vacation.
Linda's along with us. What about you, Linda? What did you do?
We got a map from Carrie with all the greenways, and then my husband and I went through all the greenways.
That's a great idea. So which ones did you do?
Going to Bond Park, and they have the White Oak and the Black Creek, and then we love the Lake Crabtree. Then when we left there, we would actually write our thoughts on the greenway.
You journaled about it.
Yeah, like it's enchanting. It has a lot of, animals or creatures there. It's been really fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm glad you did what you did with a nice staycation.
I know, and I've never thought about journaling days from my vacation, but that's a good thought.
You'll never forget it.
Exactly.
And then your grandkids can watch and read one day about what you did in 2020 during the big pandemic.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
School's back in session, but your summer, what'd you make of it when it came to vacation time? We've been talking about that on His Radio. It's Rob and Liz. Hi, good morning.
Yeah, Joe texted and said, we had a trip. We were supposed to be on a plane on our way to Maine, but instead, because of everything, because of the pandemic, they made it their very first road trip ever. So they went to Maryland first, visited family, and then they drove all the way to Maine to visit more family. It was an 18-day road trip. Wow.
Whoa, good thing they didn't bring the dog.
Days. I know. But they had a lot of fun, I'm sure.
Did they bring the dog or not?
I don't know. Yes, they did take the dog.
They did bring the dog.
Yes.
Oh, boy. That's a
stops.
road trip. Kids, dogs, everybody.
Yeah. You got to take quite a few breaks
You do,
on that
don't
trip.
you? So Rachel's along with us at 800-447-7234. What'd you make out of your vacation this summer, Rachel?
Well, myself and two girlfriends were supposed to go to New York for a week without the husbands and the kids, and that didn't work out. So we ended up going to the beach in Florida for a week, and it was so relaxing.
Oh, what part of Florida?
It was just south of Fort Myers.
Oh, you went way down, close to Naples and Sanibel Island.
Yes, and I think we did visit Sanibel. It was beautiful.
It is gorgeous, especially this time of the year in the summer.
It was wonderful.
And it was so important for you to get away with your friends, even though it looked a little different this year. It was still a good getaway, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We hadn't gotten to get together for a long time, and we were just able to disconnect from everything and focus on each other, and it was really nice.
His morning crew.
Brooklyn is a dog, and this dog has lived in the same place for 7 years. For 7 years, this dog has been in the same animal shelter with no foster home. It's Rob and Liz, His Morning Crew on His Radio.
Yeah, this is in Trenton, New Jersey. She's been living there for 2,536 days. That's a lot of time to spend in a shelter.
That's a lot of days that somebody figured out for 7 years.
No, and that they have taken care of her for that long. I'm glad that they have been there to take care of her. A no-kill shelter, which is awesome. She finally got a forever home. She'd been fostered for about 6 weeks, and they had this whole campaign about saving Brooklyn, finding her a forever home so she didn't have to go back to the shelter.
I love what they posted on their this is their Instagram that they posted this on. It said, "Help us find a foster home for this beautiful girl.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have to return to the shelter. Brooklyn has spent close to 7 years in the shelter. She spent the past 6 weeks in a foster home. We don't want to crush her spirit by making her return to the same lonely kennel run." And then somebody saw that and said, "We're going to do it." So a nice, beautiful couple
Right.
finally adopted Brooklyn, and they got a forever home.
Yeah, and she looks like a pit mix, possibly, and I know they're a little harder to adopt out because of this this picture we have in our minds of a pit bull, right? But she is the sweetest thing, and they can be such sweet dogs. So
In the right family
Yes.
that loves and cares and controls and understands how to
exactly.
train.
Right.
Absolutely.
Don't
and
let
looks
that-
like she's in the right home.
Right, don't let that stand in your way.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
If you're tired of the same old, how your movies will play one after the other or the binge show on Netflix, hey, there's something coming your way.
What?
Happens to be the shuffle.
Shuffle
You know
on
how
Netflix?
you shuffle your playlist at
Yeah.
times so that different songs will come up, so you kind of simulate what we do on the radio.
Okay.
So now Netflix thought, okay, since we already know the type of movies that you watch and we know the history, we're going to go ahead and give you a shuffle button so that it's not the same old type of binging. You just hit shuffle and then something different will come up.
So
And-
they don't throw in things that you haven't seen?
No, it's all the stuff that it thinks you like to see.
Well, sometimes they recommend stuff that I'm like, no.
So here's what you need to do. I don't know if you've ever done this,
Okay.
but every person in my family has their own profile.
Yes, we have that.
Good. Some people don't.
Okay.
So if you have a child that likes to watch a lot of cartoon type movies and then you like action, that's going to be a very strange shuffle if you do not have your own profile for each person in the family.
Yeah, so SpongeBob and then Time Cop if you're
Exactly,
something
yeah.
crazy. I don't know if I'm like that. Because sometimes I'm in a mood for something. Music is different. Like, I love the variety that we play. I get that. But for movies, I'm either in I want to watch chick flick, which is not that often, or all action, or all baking shows. I don't know.
So you get, what's the Nicholas Sparks movie?
Message in a Bottle, was that one of them?
Okay,
The Notebook?
Notebook, that's one.
Notebook, okay.
So it'd be Notebook and Time Cop, back to back.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, 007 or something real action I'm totally into. Mission Impossible.
007 followed by Up.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
Just talking about that movie makes me want to cry.
Yeah. That was such a Pixar movie. Yeah. So they're going to try this out. They're testing it now, the whole shuffle thing on Netflix, so they'll see how it goes.
Nah.
Okay, so
I'm not going to do it.
Here's the beauty of it. Even if it's there, you don't have to use it.
I'm not going to use it.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
During the pandemic, a lot of people have been told, telecommute, just stay home, do your work from home. And so a lot of people are thinking, we can live anywhere we want to.
Yeah.
As long as we've got Wi-Fi, we can, do our work from home. So they're starting to move. Do you know where they're moving to?
Well, let me see. I'll take one wild guess.
Okay, where would you move?
Somewhere in the Colorados.
Yes, that's number one. As
Is
a matter
it
of fact,
really?
Yeah. Colorado Springs, then you've got Ohio and Rochester, New York. Those are the top three.
Ohio?
Hey, now I'm from Ohio originally, so back
All
it
right,
down a
you
notch.
Buckeye.
But you know what? They are moving to Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh is the number 10 spot in the country. So what they're looking for is more of a small town feel, better cost of living, a lot of opportunity to enjoy activities, especially outdoor activities.
We got it all here in Raleigh.
There you go.
The Research Triangle
Come on,
is
y'all.
it, right?
Yeah. So that's what, expect an influx of people.
How Raleigh makes it
Yeah.
on the list with Colorado Springs, Colorado. That's pretty cool.
I think it is cool.
You know?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It is so good to have your company today. Love hearing from you at 800-447-7234. Jay's along with us. What's up, Jay?
I was a chemical specialist in the Army. I was a hazmat tech. And I think, honestly, I've noticed, especially in my kids' classes and my wife being a teacher, all the teachers have decided that they need to disinfect their classrooms, and they're trying to do it all by themselves. Why not, at least at a certain age level, that they could start understanding, give them gloves, give them disinfectant, and teach them how to disinfect the classroom and how to disinfect themselves, and teach them exactly, doorknobs, all that stuff, and teach them how to do it, and then show them how to do it. And then they could take that and they could expand that. They could take it to their house. They can clean their house like that. They can do that. And it's not all on the teacher, not all on the faculty. The kids can help with that, and it's just another learning experience.
What do you think a good age is for that?
Well, I have 4 kids under 10, and the only one that really doesn't get it is my 5-year-old.
Huh.
So my 8-year-old, my 7-year-old, and my 10-year-old all help with the cleaning. They don't want to, but they help with the cleaning. They help with,
I don't want to, but you have to.
Exactly, and I try to tell them that all the time, and they don't understand it. But
yeah, but if they get it now, if I do a good job as a parent for at least Eli, who's still in the house and he's 12. If he gets, you've got to wash your hands, you have to disinfect, you've got to clean these certain areas, maybe we wouldn't have a pandemic like we do right now.
I just thought, it just came to me, and I thought it was a really good thing to share.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
You're on a trip, you're going down I-95, you see a Cracker Barrel, you might stop because you're hungry.
Every time.
There's a NASCAR team that was actually doing that. They're coming back from Daytona, they're going up I-95, and they stop in Georgia. They go off to a Cracker Barrel. They come back out, and the entire trailer, car and all, is gone.
No.
Completely gone.
Oh, well, how did that happen?
Yeah, well, they got it on surveillance.
Okay.
I mean, some dude in a Ford F-350 literally pulled up and put the trailer on his truck and pulled out of there and went up I-95.
I'm trying to figure this out. How does that happen? It was connected to a truck or it was not?
Yeah, he just took it. I mean, literally, just took it, just hooked it up to his car and just took
Drove
it.
away.
Yeah, and so it happened to be the Mike Harmon racing team.
Okay.
You probably heard about this. It's the number 47 We Stand for the National Anthem car, driven by Kyle Weatherman. It's worth more than $400,000.
Okay, so they're looking for it, obviously.
Let me tell you, NASCAR fans are Uber fans.
Yeah, sure.
If you're into NASCAR, you are into NASCAR. I can almost guarantee you this car is going to be found.
Huh.
You
Evidently.
just know it.
Is there a NASCAR fan
Did
in the room?
Did I get an amen in the room?
Oh, yeah.
Was that?
Oh, yeah, they're going to find that car.
You know it. You know they're going to find that car.
So there's a reward out for this too, right?
A couple of bucks.
Yeah, I think it's not as much as I would have expected. It's like $5,000 or something like that.
Yeah, $5,000 reward to
Yeah.
recover not just the car,
Right.
but also to recover all the equipment that was in that trailer.
And the trailer itself.
And the trailer itself. Mm-hmm.
Huh. You know what? I'm going to be looking for it. We should.
Could be
not
around
just
here.
for the money, but just to help them get back what
Get
was
the
theirs.
car back.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, with NASCAR fans, the way that NASCAR fans are, that car is going to be located.
Well, I'm going to hit every Cracker Barrel from here up, I don't know, all around to try to find it.
His morning crew.
Greatest of all time, GOAT. Who came up with that anyway? It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
So there is a goat that we're talking about this morning. There is a farm in Pennsylvania. It's called Capra Farm. It is a home of second chances. So there is a goat named Anna.
So we're talking a real goat.
Yeah, an actual goat.
Okay.
Not like Michael Phelps, the goat of all time. No, actually a goat. She was born during a polar vortex a couple years back, like 5 years ago. It's just unprecedented freezing temperatures in that area.
Okay.
So when she was born, this is going to break your heart, but when she was born, her owners of her and her twin sister, Elsa, were not taken care of very well. And they got frostbite and they lost their legs. Well, at least Anna did.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so for years, she just had to learn to walk on what she had left, right? And of course, it was very difficult for her, whatever. So finally, I guess some services came in and took her away from the farm and got her to a different farm that took care of her and her sister, set her up with prosthetic legs, y'all.
No
and
way.
they are the cutest things. They almost look like wheelies. Isn't that what they were called? Or heelys?
Heelys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
heelys. Okay, they have the little wheels in the bottom of the tennis shoes. That's kind of what it looks like, but I don't think they are actually wheels, but it gives her a little more mobility.
Well, good for that.
And
I
they're
like that.
purple. And they're just so cute. She is living her best life right now.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, because she's running a little bit. She's getting around a whole lot better. She had put on a ton of weight because she just sat around and ate. And so now she's up and mobile.
Well, good for her.
Yeah.
Now she is GOAT.
She is
The
goat.
greatest of all time,
Yeah.
huh?
Super cute.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
I think there's nothing that's worse than sitting in a very long fast food drive-through line. I will say, some of the ones that I've gone to lately are pretty efficient.
They had to learn to be, didn't they? Really, really
Ooh,
quick.
This whole pandemic thing, they go
Yeah.
through really quick. And then you'll get the occasional one that takes a while to get through.
Yeah, but rest assured that there are some superheroes that are working some of those drive-through lines. Can I tell you about one?
Please.
Okay. Sonia was working the drive-through at Taco Bell, and she noticed that her line was just starting to wrap around the building. And so, you know, she was getting on it, trying to move these people through. She goes out, she checks. There's a guy that is passed out
No.
in his car in the drive-through line. Luckily, Sonia had had some medical training. This was not the first time she had saved somebody's life. She jumped right in. She called 911. She got a coworker to kind of rifle through his pockets and find his driver's license so she could start calling him by his last name. Mr., you know, fill in the blank, Mr. Jones, wake up. You know,
Very smart.
What's going on? She gave him mouth-to-mouth, and she got him breathing. Yeah, and she, you know, rescue units showed up. The fire department was the first on the scene, and they took over from there. And they now have kind of a relationship that's starting a friendship. He reached out to her and he said, I just wanted you to know I'm doing well. I'm doing okay.
Good.
Thank you so much. That was a God thing right there.
That's daring on her part. In COVID, she could have said, I don't know if I'm going to get COVID or not.
Exactly.
And she still did instinct to save that guy.
Yeah, well,
Good.
she jumped right in, and she said, normally I work the night shift. They called me in a couple of hours early.
Mm-hmm.
If she hadn't been there when she was there.
You tell me there's no God.
Divine intervention.
Look at that,
Yeah.
huh?